Hey to anyone who's here. Hey Flacker and Jean. Flacker, so disappointed the Mets lost yesterday. Oh no, I'm sorry, I know nothing about that, but I'm sorry that your team lost. Oh, hey Kristen. Glad you made it. Absolutely. I'm just getting started now, cleansing the cards, but pop your question in the chat. Oh, hey Danny. Great to have you here. Just getting started. I'm going to use the Rider Waite today, at least to get started with. Just going to cleanse the cards, but by all means, put your questions in the chat if you're ready. I hope everyone's well. Monday morning here where I am. Oh, gosh. Interesting start. Thanks, Danny. So, Kristen, I have a crush. His name is Gary. We met. I just want to know if he likes me too or not. Sure thing. That's nice that you've connected with someone. Was it a proper date, or was it just out of interest and just being nosy? Or was it just a connection? This is for you, Kristen, though. Let's check in to see how Gary feels about you, his energy towards you. Spirit, please bring a message through for Kristen. A casual meet with friends, sure thing. Gary's energy towards Kristen, please, Spirit. I'm going to take this one. Really nice energy to come through, Kristen. So, 10 of Cups. You're connected on Instagram. Okay, that's cool that you have got that for sort of the future, yeah? I'm just going to move that out of the way. But the 10 of Cups is actually, talks about emotional fulfillment. It talks about long-term commitment. So this would definitely tell me that they felt a spark and something there too. We can see, obviously there's a couple in this picture here. I mean, this depicts the full, when we see a 10, it's like quite far down the line in a relationship. Like this is a proper sort of established family. So I always see this as almost that they have a flash of when, you connect with someone And even though we kind of know that we shouldn't, sometimes we do sort of imagine a future with them. And that couple energy is definitely here. So, Kristen, this is a really lovely card to come through, checking in on their energy and that they felt that spark too with you and the potential there for a relationship, basically. So, I hope that offered you some comfort. Hey, Anne. Hey, Janavi. Hey, Jean. Thanks for your question, guys. If you could like the stream. It was water rafting thing, Kristen. Wow. You are a braver woman than me. I'd be absolutely terrified in that situation. So moving on to Danny. Any messages from Spirit? Just an update. I found myself doubting myself in regards to your business, okay, 2 nights ago, but you're good now. Started feeling overwhelmed as well. But remembered the last message about the Empress. Fantastic. I'm glad that got you through that, Danny. Remembering who you are. Let's check in to see what Spirit has for you now, okay? Was it terrifying, Kristen? Okay, Danny, what does Spirit want you to know? Spirit, please bring through a message for Danny. What does she need to know right now, please, Spirit? Well done, Danny, for standing strong, because look, another major arcana for you. The star, beautiful energy. I'll just cover that because YouTube doesn't like it. The star card is always about keeping the faith. It's about a wish come true, a wish upon a star energy. So that long held dream, maybe a business, maybe not. Take what resonates here, Danny. Something that requires as well, I keep hearing when I see this for you, just in this moment, ebb and flow, like with all this water around, that to understand that about how maybe with your business, about the ebb and flow, and that the quieter times doesn't mean that it's over or it's not working. It's just like with the tides that come in, we get a wave, then it comes back out, comes back in, goes back out. That's that cyclical energy. And that's part of how, because I think corporate organizations have this mentality that the tide always has to be in, if that makes sense. Like always go, 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 always draining resources. There's no room, or there's no to be any downtime. But that's actually inevitable, that there always is, and it doesn't mean that in the quiet times that they're just as important as the busy times. And to allow that, it's really hard to sort of takes a deep amount of trust to really give into that sense of flow. That goes for all of us. But major arcana, and I see So maybe a particular milestone that you've been working for feels slightly more focused as well, like a particular wish coming true here, but also maybe just the long held wish of success. So very hopeful card, reassuring again, and maybe just with a sort of caveat message of that sense of flow and trust in the process. Thanks. This deck, for those that like the deck, it's the Rider-Waite Tarot, but it's the um, holographic deck. You're very welcome, Danny Baby. Hey, Rock Gaming, thanks for being here. And Mimi, pop your questions in the chat if you want to read in. I just read in order. If anyone would like an in-depth 3-card, it's 1 coffee, and if you could give the stream a like, I'd really appreciate it if you enjoying the live. I saw, Kristen, you said it was terrifying, but it was worth it. Okay. Bet you lots of rush of adrenaline in that, for sure. Sounds like, well, it's a great place to meet as well. So, Janavi, in previous life, we got indecisive yes, I remember, for Akshay, anxiety, negative card for her. Is it possible to see what they are worried about? I mean, I absolutely, I'll pull it again, Janavi, to see how I interpreted at the time. Maybe I didn't make it clear enough, but it was fears and doubts about the future of their connection, I felt like, and if it was going to work out. But let's see what comes through today. Janavi, this is for you, Spirit. What are their fears and worries about? The Will card, another major arcana. Lots of big energies around today. So, Janavi, I think this is about, because the world is about cycles ending and new cycles beginning. So I think it just really talks about this new chapter that they've both entered into, yeah, by taking actions that they have. The World card as well is all about closure. So I feel like this could be for Akshay, obviously, like having issues and worries around maybe closure with you, if that's possible. Does that mean that this is really, closing the door? Because obviously it's sending such a strong message to you and you're not prepared to be that third person. So anxieties and worries around that. I suppose the closure that this could potentially bring, like a finality to it, yeah. Because before, maybe the door always felt like it would be a bit open in that time leading up to it, at least. But now, the marriage has happened, that level of commitment, it's like they've gone to that next level. And I suppose anxieties and worries about the new chapter, yeah, this new cycle that they're entered into. And I think it really is, like last time that I was picking up on, worries and fears about their future and reality setting in. How is this actually going to work? what will it look like, you know? Um, I don't know, obviously, if they're Akshay, for instance, if he sees this as a forever kind of situation. Obviously, if we know about the reasons why he's entered into this, is it a solution to a problem which he's always planned on getting out of? I don't know that. Maybe you have more intuition on that, or we could look at that. But at the minute, worries and fears, I feel like it's about this new chapter that they've both entered into, and about the effectively the people and situations that they're leaving behind in what they've done, and you being a part of that for Akshay. Thanks, Rock Gaming, for your question. So, just so you know, I will get through everyone's questions. I just read in order so that it's fair. So just hang on and I will get to you. That's for Rock Gaming. Hey Anne. So as an update, Reneel is still in contact with me after our breaking up, okay, and seems more interested than before. What is the potential future of our relationship if we continue on this path? Sure thing. So Anne, this is for you. Let's have a look at the future of this connection if you continue on the path. What will come next? Seven of Wands. Interesting. So how I see this, Anne, for you is that's great that there's been kind of a shift, yes, that maybe it's I do remember that reading, and that he's more keen now than before. Now, what I see this Seven of Wands brings a message through for you, Anne, is about being boundaried. I don't know if this has happened in the past, but with the Seven of Wands, we see someone here who's having to really kind of defend their space and hold a boundary, and maybe that they have a tendency, Renil, to maybe want to control a situation or want it to wanting, like I say, to be in control of the situation, but almost trying to back you into a corner of some kind of how they see the relationship going and how they want it to go. So what I think is Spirit is saying, like, to counteract this and to really take this opportunity of, now that there's been a reset through the breakup and that there's this reconciliation of going back down the path, this is an opportunity for you, Anne, to stay very boundaried in what you want, and holding space. And Wands is about having that kind of fire inside of you, about asking for what you want, kind of being a bit more like, this is how it's going to go, that you can be the one who can be more like, this is how it's going to go. And I feel like that this would actually be the best chance for success in this connection, Anne. So, like I say, I don't know if this resonates with the dynamic, but that's what I'm picking up on. And that this time around, I feel like that you need to be very boundaried about how you. So maybe that means taking it slow. Maybe that means speaking out more about what you want, if that's something that you feel like you haven't been able to do in the past. I'm glad that resonated, Anne. So use this opportunity, don't to start something new, okay? Make it different this time. Don't just repeat what it feels like. This is an important turning point. Don't go back to how it was, yeah? Really, you need to take control this time and be very strong and take it slow and make him work for it, yeah? Thanks, Janavi. Okay, Jean. Whatever, I know you might be working, Jean, but hopefully you can look back on this. Whatever I need to know about Aquarius, thank you. Oh, about the Aquarius, sorry. No contact. No problem, Anne, thanks. You're very welcome. Okay, so this is for Jean. Let's check in with the Aquarius, where they're at. Thanks, Jean. Oh, I'm going to take this. This jumped out of the deck for you, Jean. This is your Aquarius, Page of Swords. So Page of Swords is someone who, swords is, you don't start work for 40 minutes. Cool, great. Page of Swords is all about communication and speaking their truth, okay? So I do see them gearing themselves up for this. Can you see how this page here is kind of getting ready? It's pulling their sword back, almost like ready to strike or ready to come forward. It's some kind of information that you've been waiting for or word from them. Now, it is worth noting that with a page, they can often indicate a level of immaturity, okay, on their side. When we see a king, obviously that's someone who kind of really understands themselves and is kind of very established in their person and their soul, okay? The page is still someone who has a ways to go in some ways. You might already know this about them, have kind of flagged and that they've shown this immaturity to you before. It doesn't necessarily, it's not in malice or anything like that or bad negative energy, but it's just sometimes means that they might have a bit of a skewed or naive viewpoint on how they kind of expect things to go. Maybe with what they have to say as well. It might be put in a way that doesn't come across the best, but the intention, I believe, will be genuine, okay? So that's what I see. It's almost like a naivety or an idealism, what they'll come forward with. And maybe the communication, when they do come through, it won't come through the best, but it is actually from a genuine place. So I guess on your part, it's just about then what your intuition and what your heart tells you in how to take things forward and respond to, and if this person kind of can meet you where you're at, okay, meet you on your level. Are they a match to you? Genuine is important. Like, we can forgive a lot, right? Can't we? If there is genuine intention, even if someone's quite blunt in their communication, if you can feel that, it's from a good place, we can let a lot of stuff go with that. So this is really reassuring to you, and some if you are waiting on communication, I do see that coming through. And then I guess you see what they have to say, take it from there and over to you in regards to sort of your intuition and your guidance. Okay, rock gaming. This is my girlfriend cheated on me. I'm sorry about that. For someone else last night, last night was she thinking about me? So I wouldn't do something. That question is probably not the best for tarot rock, but what I can do is having a look at her energy towards you and this connection, if that's all right, and see what insight and guidance this gives us, okay? Because I think you're saying she cheated on you with someone else, but was she thinking about me? So, like I said, that's not really a question for tarot, but I can certainly have a look at her intentions and energy towards you and this connection. So I'll do that. Major Arcana, the High Priestess. So this is a Major Arcana, which tells me that certainly on her part, even though obviously this situation that has arisen will have caused doubt and uncertainty, no doubt, across the board. The High Priestess is a Major Arcana, though, which tells me that they're still energetically connected and invested in this connection with you, okay? Now, the High Priestess is someone who is very intuitive and is very guided by that. So they kind of go on instinct. They are someone who maybe can be quite hidden as well. That they can be come across maybe as kind of introverted or closed off, but it's just someone who keeps their feelings maybe to themselves and thinks and feels things deeply, but is not particularly kind of expressive about this. So I see them in that might be someone how that might be their nature just in general, but that's certainly the place that they're at now. It's almost like they've withdrawn and they've retreated. And I think they are sort of contemplating their next steps and next decisions about this connection with you and how to move forward. Like I say, I do see that they are invested. But there is an element of mystery here, even about like that. I feel it's a little bit confusing to read exactly what their next move will be. With the High Priestess, that can often be the case, not quite knowing what their next move is. Just see what else comes through. But I think they are someone who thinks and feels deeply in general. So they aren't in a flippant place about this, or there doesn't feel to be a definitive decision. They will let their it's almost like they'll let their next feeling or thought dictate their move and their decisions. It's almost that they act on impulse as well. So maybe they don't even know their next move yet. It's like they'll just follow their next intuitive feeling, their next move. So, one thing, obviously, if you can have a chance to have a conversation with this person, to be able to find out more about where you stand, that's absolutely fair for you to know that. But I feel like at the minute that getting a straight answer out of this person would be a challenge. Okay, because they don't even know their next move. So it's going to be hard for them to convey or communicate to you um how they see their future. So I know that's probably not as a reassuring message as you'd hope for, but the cards just tell me what they tell me, and this gives me a read on this person's energy. Okay, feels very much like a mixed bag and mysterious energy in many ways. So guys, if anyone else has any questions, I'm still going to stay on live, so you can, if you do have another question, by all means go for it. Like I say, if you'd like a more in-depth 3-card reading, that's also possible as well. But 1 card free, just pop your messages in the chat. Obviously it's slightly quieter today, so how do I manage connecting with so many different energies, lots of ups and down energies? I think it's because, Janavi, good question. Lots of practice. And I think I'm able to, my connection is and with spirit. So I always feel like that I am a channel, and try to just stay and remain as an open channel, and what messages need to come through to whoever I'm reading for. If I can stay open, like remain grounded but stay open, then it just comes through and the message comes through, and then it's like I'm able to just move on. Like as long as I can just leave that behind, it doesn't linger, and then I can just move on to the next, if that makes sense. It can be very intense if I'm doing like a full reading as well, so the private readings. I just go by my channel name, Anne, so it's just for privacy, really. I prefer to keep it that way. Hi, Eco7. I'm a mother of 3 kids. Would I be able to start my career in abstract art field? So I can have a look at the energy surrounding how to do that. Obviously, I wouldn't say yes or no, Eco7, like that would be your free will. But I could look at, if it's helpful to you, what energy, like how to approach that. I'm an energy reader, so it would be like looking at you in that situation and see what came through for insight and guidance. Let's see what comes through, Eco7, regarding this business. Abstract art, now that sounds interesting. Spirit, please bring a message through for Eco7 regarding their career and how to approach this, please, Spirit. Ten of Wands. So Eco 7, this is about, now this could be to do with your family situation, or it could be to do with your career, but it sort of gives me insight on the Ten of Wands is someone who feels like quite can be a card of burnout. Okay, it's like there's been a long journey and a burden of sorts that you've carried for a while. And maybe feeling like maybe you've tried to start this business and then had setbacks, or that you've been overwhelmed by circumstances and just not had that energy and time. Um, but what the Ten of Wands brings the promise that what is incoming. Bear with me one sec. Sorry about that. The Ten of Wands is finally being able to reach a point where you can put certain burdens down. And what I see happening here is that you'll be able to free up some energy, be able to free up time, even however you see this, however this manifests. So I feel like you are nearing this point with this Ten of Wands. We see this person with 10 wands of wands can represent creativity as well, and efforts that you've been slowly but steady carrying these wands to where they need to get. And then finally you can put this down and relieve yourself of a burden. And what comes after the 10 is an ace, okay? And that is the new beginning, the fresh start. I believe this in your career. A new beginning, it can be about an opportunity being presented to you, a connection, maybe an important connection with someone that can help you, some kind of offer or invitation which will really introduce the next step of where you need to go and where you need to move to in your career. Just recognize at the minute this kind of 10 of Wands energy and allow that to, I suppose, unfold, and allow this kind of closure to happen on this situation, so it's fully kind of can be left in the past, and it can be about a place of healing and, I suppose, recovering from some kind of burnout. Yeah. So I hope that resonates to kind of where you're at in your process. Like I say, this could be happening now, or it can be coming through in the near future. Take what resonates with that, but it's something needs to be, essentially what I'm seeing is something needs to be released before this kind of next stage of the career can come through. This kind of fresh can come through. Okay, I'm glad that resonated for you. Give you time to heal and recover from that 10 of Wands burnout energy as well. Like, don't try and rush the ace, the new beginning. So Janavi, sometimes I see things in my dreams, and sometimes during my day I get a flash of the event before it happens. Wow. And I get anxious. Yeah, like, what was that? How can I imagine something before it happens? Well, that's definitely sounds like something to do with clairvoyancy, Janavi, if you feel like you're actually getting premonitions. If you want, I mean, it's worth looking into premonition, Jean. You know how to manage gifts as well, so that you don't have to feel scared of them. There's lots to read about on it. There's lots to watch videos, even here on YouTube. Is it new term? Yeah, so premonition. It's basically like the foretelling of the future. And, historically, obviously, people have always had this gift. Not everyone, but certain people have had this gift. And it's something that you can either, I think it's always good to understand so that you're not scared of it. But it is always in your control as well. I think it's worth saying that it's something you can to deepen this skill if you wanted to and manage it and lean into it. Or some people just have it and they don't really want to do that. You would like to develop, yeah, some people are kind of want to close off from it. So Janavia, I would like read up on much of it that you can. There's certain exercises and practices that you can do. Even maybe finding a tool that you can use to lean into the premonitions. You can obviously, there's things that you can do with dreaming as well. I've forgotten what it's called, where you learn how to control your dreams. Does anyone remember what that's called? Lucid dreaming, is it? Yeah. So lucid dreaming. No, clairvoyancy is, sorry, Eugene, that's, yeah, what I said overall, but lucid dreaming's like a way to sort of control your dreams, or to have more awareness in your dreams. Yeah, thanks, Danny. So lots of ways to get into it. Or Janavi, some people like to light a candle, look into the candle to try and see the future, or tea leaves even. That's something always that I've wanted to look into, tea leaf reading. Right, back to the questions. No worries, Janavi. Let me know how you get on. It's obviously of much interest to me. And this is for you. What should I focus on for the rest of the year to achieve my goals? Okay. So Two of Pentacles, Anne, is the promise that you may already be busy, okay? But if not, then you will be getting busy, which feels, this card always feels like that busyness is something positive, okay? So it's maybe movement that you've wanted in certain areas. It's just like having a lot going on, okay? But in a positive way, stuff that it feels like progress and it feels like movements towards your achievements and your goals, okay? There is a sense of kind of ups and downs here as well. If we see behind this kind of the sea, it's like woohoo, it's very wavy. So naturally sort of on the road to success. Much like I was talking to Danny Baby about, how there is these ups and downs, that ebb and flow that comes. So to trying as much as possible to, on your part, to go with the flow and not to fight that, and not to kind of let that drain your energy too much, the down times or even the up times, because the Two of Pentacles is all about needing to stay centered. So that's the most pivotal sort of the essence of this question, okay? The most important aspect of this card is for you to stay grounded and to stay centered and not to be pulled away, lose yourself, or be every up and down, be taken on this roller coaster ride, okay? Because it will lead to burnout. That where if we're busy and we can kind of remain that sense of flow and allow it to go by us, allow the river to carry us, it's just a much more positive experience. So do whatever you do and to or develop ways if you haven't got them in place already to stay grounded and to stay centered. If you meditate, if you exercise, if you whatever it is that you do, to stay centered, and what that means, getting out in nature, for example, is a big one for all of us. Connecting with nature makes you slow down and with yourself and with your center. So I think that's really important to do that whenever we get the chance. But yeah, positive. It's almost like this the river will take you, I feel like, Anne, and that busyness will come. There's not loads of action on your part. Your part's more just about staying centered and focused so you don't get burnt out and go on that kind of roller coaster ride that busyness can bring. So, guys, does everyone have any questions just before I go? If you've asked one question, by all means, you can ask a second. I'm happy to do that. I'll just hang on a moment to see if anyone has any final questions. I don't think so. So what I'll do is I will be back on tomorrow. I'm hoping to get on for tomorrow evening, UK time, that is, around 7 p.m. again. But I'll confirm with a post as usual, so look out for that. But thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for coming with your questions. Much appreciated as always. Just read what Janavi says here. You're a practical, logical person, yeah? So initially I was doubting those flashes of events. Shall I just pull? I'll pull one card. Just want to see, sure, if Spirit says I do have that gift. Let's. Don't think I've ever pulled one on this before. For someone else, anyway. Bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. So that is that mystical energy, Janavi, that intuition. I think from reading for you for a while now, I feel like that you have a very deep understanding of messages from spirit and from intuition. So I feel like this is your energy. Interestingly, I've got the Five of Swords, which is about, I think first off, what comes to mind is I feel like you've experienced a lot of conflict and disruption. Maybe this between you and Akshay, and almost that this is heightened and highlighted this gift that you have. So this is something positive to come out of kind of what you've been through as well. It's sort of taken to this place inside yourself that has brought out this gift. Sometimes a lot of our gifts do come out of places of pain. Not always. It can just be what we come through with, yeah. But I feel like that when we're in a lot of pain and suffering, that it drives us to these places, and brings out deeper parts of ourselves which we wouldn't often access unless we really had to go there. So that's what I see, that this is you and Akshay's kind of energy, or maybe other areas in your life as well throughout before Akshay and other stuff that's going on, that's been difficult, that's caused you pain, kind of betrayals and heartaches, etc. This kind of general disruption that makes us, like I say, it pushes us into accessing different parts of ourselves, deepening a connection with spirit. So that's something positive to think of what's come out with, because this could be a turning point for you of opening up to this gift and leaning into that, and that being something to lean on more and more throughout your life, something that you can really build a relationship with this clairvoyancy and begin to trust this, begin to embrace those images that you see and messages. This is spirit actively trying to communicate with you on a very personal level, yeah? And this is you in this high priest energy, leaning more and more into that and really mastering this skill and mastering this gift. Collaborating with people even who also have this gift, and they can offer their insight, and kind of, people who have been there and done that. There are groups, it's kind of endless possibilities on ways to approach accessing this, whatever connects with you. But this is people who also have this gift, and can share more information and guidance and help. Hi, Destiny Allen. Absolutely. Do you have a question for your one card, Destiny, if that's what you'd like, the one card reading? You're welcome, Janavi. You do have a question, Destiny, just pop it in the chat. The more context that you can give me, the more detailed reading that you can have. Sure thing, Jean. Thank you. I'm still here listening. Awesome. So, Destiny, I'm just waiting on your question whenever you're ready. So future energies, what's coming through next? Spirit, what's coming through next for Destiny, please? Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is about really taking a moment to assess. We can see this person here who is looking at this wand, and wand is ruled by the element of fire. Okay, Destiny and it represents our passions, okay, our heart's desires. It doesn't come from a head energy, like an logical energy, but it's stuff that people, situations that we love, okay, and it's also connected to our dreams and ambitions. So take what resonates with you about what's your particular focus, Destiny, at this time, what's been on your heart and mind. If it's in career, if it's in a relationship, somewhere I believe that you've wanted to see movement, okay? And with the Page of Wands, this is telling you to kind of take a step back and really ask yourself your heart's desires, what it is that you want, and what does that look like in action, okay? In reality, what moves would you need to make this happen? There's some kind of growth and progress maybe that you've already achieved in this area, maybe more than what you feel, or you have already, because you have got this wand in your possession, so that represents the kind of progress that you've already made. But it's really about spirit, because it's at this page level. It's like you're on the way to becoming a queen, on your way to becoming king energy, okay? Really established in this. But on this way, it's like about it's important to keep checking in with you about if this still aligns with you, if this still feels like it's making you happy, if it's really connected. Keep following that route of your heart's desires and your passions, and let this inform your actions. It's not about, this is not a time to settle, this is a time for expansion, okay? And going to that next level. That's what the wands is all about. It's about really following your ambitions to the fullest and not restricting yourself in any way. And this card tells me just to that it's important for you, yeah, to take that moment and to really assess about your next direction, okay? And making sure that it still aligns with your heart's desires and you're not settling in any way. You're very welcome, Destiny. So guys, I'm getting the live there. Thank you again all so much for being here. Like I say, I really appreciate it. Oh God, oh no. If you could drop a like if you haven't already, and subscribe so that you get notified for all future lives that I do. I will be back on, like I said before, tomorrow evening around 7 p.m. UK time. Thanks, Danny. So hopefully I'll catch you all again then. But until then, love and light.